Hey everybody, and welcome to Robin's house. Today we're featuring the Wonderland kit, but one of the things that I did in this kit is saving paper. And I know I've done this technique before, but it's one I use all the time, and it's one I featured in this project, or at least I talked about it as a possibility. So when we're doing a scrapbook page where we're using really cute paper, but we're covering most of it up, I prefer to cut it out. When you're mounting all of that paper on top of it, it's wasted. So number one, it creates extra bulk in your scrapbook page. And number two, it's just unnecessary. And in theory, you could have even cut out some of this cardstock background and then made another border. But I'm only really interested in saving the pretty paper that you have to buy a whole pack to get, and I'm not as interested in the cardstock, so I only save the pretty paper. So I just want to go over it real quick with you how I do that. So if I have a piece of pretty paper, this is holly and ivy, and then I'm going to cover it up. One technique to figure out how you want to do it is this paper, if you add it up to your thing, this is a 10.5-inch mark, and it leaves an 1.5 inches left over. So in my mind, I figure I need to cut an 1.5 inch border around my cardstock, because then that will provide 3/4 of an inch over here and 3/4 of an inch over here. And there will still be 3/4 of an inch underneath all of my edges. So then I take my trimmer and I put it at the 1.5 inch mark. And then I'm also going to start it 1.5 inches down. And you can't really see it, but you can see that this is 1 inch, this is 2 inches, so I'm at around 1.5 inches. And then you just drag it until you're 1.5 inches, and I'm outside your space. So 1.5 inches, so you can see that this is 1 inch, this is 2 inches, so I'm about halfway. And then you just turn the paper. You do the exact same thing 4 times. I just kind of leave it where it was. And then I go up here to the 1.5 inch mark. Push down, take it down here to 1.5 inches. And now I have gone all the way around my paper, and my table is a little bowed, so it didn't cut all the way through over here, which is kind of odd, but that's easy to fix. It's all going to be covered up anyway. So now I have an 1.5 inch border, but more importantly, I have a 9-inch by 9-inch square of paper that I can easily get at least 2 card bases out of, maybe even 2 card bases and a slimline card base. And so, I mean, that's a valuable piece of paper. And then, so the next part is, okay, so now I have my thing, and then you're getting ready to glue. So it can be a little difficult to determine where you should glue on this. So I have a trick. I glue only on the very outline of this paper, because I know all of this section is going to be covered. And then I glue on the very inside of this paper. That way, in reality, when that other paper comes over, there's probably going to be glue here in this zone, and then glue here in this zone. And so that will be perfectly secure as you bring your papers down. So then you just have to eyeball it or measure it if you're inclined. Set it down, and you can't even tell that the whole back side of that paper is missing. And isn't that so much more fun? So I hope you will try that out. It's a super easy technique, especially once you start practicing a little bit. So let me know if this was helpful. Thanks for watching. Happy crafting.